Hello everyone, this is Shayla L. Bennett hi, I'm Shayla L. Bennett and this is 5 Minute Motivation. And today's topic is tackling tough talks. We have been talking about communication, and I thought it was going to be, kind of a one and done, and we get in and out. And then it turned into like a mini series, and now it's extended. And I'm actually really glad that it's extended because it has allowed for me to really delve in and talk about some of the challenges that we have in communication. And today I am going to talk about how to really have some of the conversations that are really difficult, really challenging to have. A lot of times we have situations where we have to have confrontations, where we have to talk to someone about something that's very difficult. And it is not comfortable, it is not convenient, it's not easy. And we need to know what type of skills, tools, resources we need to take into that conversation. And I'm going to bring you some resources for that. Very early in my career, I had a situation where I had to tackle a very difficult conversation with a manager that I had about fellow coworkers, and how they were treating me in the environment, how they were in essence trying to undermine my leadership. And in that conversation, I noticed that he had a book. And in seeing that book, I asked to borrow it. And I ended up keeping it. And he didn't mind. I don't know if he got another one or not, but I ended up really loving this resource. And so I'm going to bring it to you now. I don't know if it's still available, but it's called Crucial Conversations. And I have used this book a ton. It has helped me so much. So I will make sure that I leave this as a resource for you. But this book really helped me, and I'm going to tell you how. This book helped me because it allowed for me to not allow people to stockpile or to pile up things that had no relevance to conversations. What I would find is that people would try to pile on different things that absolutely had no relevance to the conversation that we were having. We would be focused in on one specific topic, but they would come in and they would bring in all of these other things. And it was my responsibility to say, no, this is the topic that we are talking about, and this is the focus of this conversation, and we're not going to stockpile issues that have no relevance. Those issues you can table for another time if you like, but these are the topics that this is the topic that we need to stick to. This is one of the major tools that this book helped me with. Being able to stick to the topic at hand is very important. What I found is sometimes people will come in and they actually have an idea of where they want the conversation to go, but they want to lead out in another way because they want to kind of persuade you in the direction that they want to go. And it's really more manipulation than it is actually being upfront. We have a difficult time confronting confronting difficult conversation. We don't like to be honest, and it is very uncomfortable. It's not easy to have a tough conversation. It really isn't. But it requires us to be honest first with ourselves and then with the person that we're having the conversation with. Until we can get to the place that we're honest, then we're really not allowing both ourselves and the other person to really have the level of conversation that allows for real healing and real resolution. Once we can get to the place that we say, you know what, this is what bothered me. This is what hurt me. This is what was difficult for me. Let's not cover it up, and let's not be let's not try to finagle our way into what manipulate our way. Let's just call it what it is, into backdoor our way into what we want. Let's just be upfront. And it may be uncomfortable initially, But if we can be honest and say what we want, then we can get to a lot easier conversation. A lot of times we have difficulty because we think that if we have a confrontational or a upfront conversation, then somehow then we don't have a really good team. Then somehow it undermines the ability of our team to be effective. But I have another book that helped me with that. And it's called I'm trying to make sure I get it in the right light. The Five Dysfunctions of a Team. I was working with a really great team, a team that I loved, but we never had any confrontation. And then I realized that I kind of needed to say something that wasn't going to make me popular, and I was dreading it. I'm talking about like seriously dreading it. So I went to the person that was my leader, and I was like, I don't want to say this, but this is how I think this is going. And she was like, I think so too. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? And she was like, I don't know. And I really don't remember how this book got into my hands, but this book is absolutely amazing because what it says is you can disagree and still have an amazing team. In fact, the best teams disagree. The best teams argue. And you're a better team if you do it. It makes it so much better when you can say, we don't agree, but in our having differences of opinions, I can see your perspective and I can see how this could be a very valuable tool and resource. I can see the other side of this conversation. And let's not just get to a place that, oh, well, we're just going to pick the better of the two ideas. No, let's see both sides of the argument and then let's see maybe where they merge or where we can come up with a better idea out of them. Like, this book really taught me how valuable not agreeing was, because not agreeing wasn't necessarily disagreeing. So these two tools personally have helped me. The fact that they're both red was just kind of hilarious to me. I literally just pulled them off of my bookshelf. But these two tools have helped me so much in growing as a person and being able to have really what I initially felt like were really hard conversations and felt like were challenges, but allowed for me to be able to say, you know what, I'm not sure that that's the direction to go, but here is my perspective on it, or this is my insight on it. I have had some really great mentors, and what they have done is they've shown through their own lives, their perspective on how things didn't necessarily, it wasn't the way they wanted to hear something, but it allowed for them to see the other side of a situation. And then by them sharing themselves, it allowed for me to grow and say, you know what? Yeah, I really could do that better. I really could do that differently. I can be more than I thought I could because I see another way to do this. That's what I feel like books, tools, resources, mentors give you. So, this is Shayla L. Bennett. This is today's 5-minute motivation. I am encouraging you to not just be a reader, but be an avid reader. Look for tools and resources that push you outside of your comfort zone, that tell you that you don't have to just think the way that you think. It doesn't have to always be your way, but you can see other opportunities for you to grow in ways that you would have never thought of before. Those are the best opportunities for you to consider ways for you to have challenging conversations, even when it's not easy, but they are actually better for everyone. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.